Darwin and the marathon man Andrew Cowan records another victory in international endurance rallying. The Scotsman had led home 80 survivors of the 6,000-kilometre Wynn safari, one of the most punishing motor events held in Australia. A week earlier, there were 307 vehicles and bikes packed into the Sydney showgrounds for the start. Lined up were over 600 drivers and navigators, prepared to take on Australia's outback for the next 7 days.
Nice to be here. Thanks very much for adding your names to the race.
I've been doing this for 20 years. I didn't get much sleep last night. And, you know, it's just once you get going, you start to relax.
From the Sydney showgrounds, the competitors drove out to the Australian outback for 7 days. And each day, they faced a drive of 1,000 kilometres against the clock, over some of the worst roads Australia had to offer. The man who conceived the event, adventurer Hans Tholstrup, set out to make the first Wynn safari a tough, demanding test that would rival the great rally across the Sahara, the annual Paris to Dakar marathon.
I was surprised at the numbers. I thought, well, okay, we'd start 150, 200 vehicles. But we could have started 500 vehicles quite easily. And it just proves that it is not a soft society.
Well, how many of those 308 competitors will eventually get through to Darwin?
Well, hopefully not more than 100. But we shall see.
What do you mean, hopefully?
Well, I think it would have been much too easy an event if much more than 100 vehicles made it to Darwin. But it's not that hard now. It has been eased off a lot. Had it been up to me, there would have been 10 make it to Darwin.
But not even Tholstrup's devious mind could have foreseen what heavy rain would do to a 29-kilometre section of the course on the first night. There was panic and pandemonium as cars, trucks, four-wheel drives and bikes, desperately racing the clock, ploughed into deep, sloppy mud. It turned into one great, messy traffic jam. And one competitor commented that it was a wonder that bike riders weren't decapitated on the steel winch reps which crisscrossed the track.
Well, so far we've been going just more than 12 hours. We've still got a long way to go before we even get to Bourke. Now, this is probably one of the better tracks that we've been on to tonight. Earlier on tonight, there was a whole heap of people who we've saw bogged. In fact, we got bogged ourselves a lot earlier. We're running a little bit behind time, but I think we'll do all right.
How do you reckon the guy on the Mack truck is in the bog?
Yes, well, not easy.
Considering the vehicle, the weight, the weight, all people went on pretty good.
Well,
that first section was diabolical. It was mud piles about 200 metres long and about 3 feet deep. In fact, we even saw one guy stuck trying to get across the railway line to find firm ground.
I'd say by tomorrow morning there'll be a lot of people eliminated from the whole Sydney to Darwin safari.
Yep.
The conditions on the first day had devastated the hopes of many in the rally. The pressure, problems and frustrations had taken a high toll of competitors and their machines. And for the survivors, there was to be little rest.
Oh, just a valve grind.
No problems at all. One reason why we had wheel wobble.
I'd say so, Mike. That section that we did where the car felt like it was about to roll over going down the road is largely responsible for all this mud in here.
31. A bit of rock and roll, huh?
It wasn't until next morning, when the results were posted, that everyone realised just how bad the first section had been.
You're out in about 30 seconds.
How's it going?
Okay, not too bad. Switch off then.
6:03 coming up.
It was a freezing cold morning in Bourke as day 2 gets underway, and already half the field has been eliminated from this race, with still 6 days of competition to go.
There were scores of protests about the conditions, and organisers were confronted by angry competitors, especially those in two-wheel drive rally cars, who found themselves eliminated before the event had really started.
A lot of complaints from the two-wheel drives, the rally fraternity who have come in here. They've had a lot of troubles with this trip.
Yes, well, it's obviously it's not going to be a rally-oriented event, and in fact I'd say next year we would intend to make it for four-wheel drives and for cycles. The rally fraternity, you know, have their rallies they can go in. Of course, a lot of boys are having problems because, quite frankly, they haven't had a long event for a long time, and they're therefore, I believe, completely unprepared for what it's all about. It's not just a special stage rally through a forest over a day or two.
Do you think that they should have, in fact, even started? Do you think that was a mistake letting them, a lot of these two-wheel drive family cars even start?
Probably it was. When people phoned us, or we mentioned this to them, that we thought it was going to be very tough. I believe that the course has been passable for two-wheel drive, and so do all the other boys associated with the event. But yes, it was going to be tough to be able to get through. But a lot of them, of course, just would not have had the experience, so we couldn't talk them out of coming to the event. They just wanted to come.